Hi guys, and welcome back to episode 8 of the Card Crunchers podcast. I'm here as always with Poketing King, and we'll be talking about all things TCG related. So, what's new? What's happened? Has anything been going on recently that you've noticed in the TCG world?
Yeah, quite a lot's happening. I know the PWCC got purchased, which is quite interesting. Fanatics bought PWCC. Fanatics are a large US-based sports merchandising company. So obviously PWCC is, a lot of collectibles. It's been a big name that's come in the last few years in terms of like auction houses. It's probably the largest now, I'd say. The most prominent, I think, when we look at a lot of high profile sales now, we're kind of seeing those across the board on PWCC. There's definitely interesting. I mean, eBay bought TCG Player last
Yeah.
year. So there's a lot of movement in terms of like companies being acquired in the auction house, secondary market in terms of collectibles and TCGs.
Yeah, it's a good point. There's lots of sort of like buyouts happening, isn't there, in terms of companies? And I think even go back like a year or two, there was a lot of other things that were exchanged. I think was Golden involved in one as well. I remember it was PSA that got PSA got changed hands.
Yeah.
But then I think they also got an auction house as well or something. So
Yeah, I think they purchased Golden was part of one of the deals, I believe, as well. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting that there's so much movement all at the same time. So yeah, I've not heard of Fanatics before. I mean, I've used PWCC. I think they're a staple for collectible cards, to be honest. Like a lot of people watch them and refer to them. But obviously in the UK, it's a little bit more difficult for us. Like I know
Yeah.
most people in the UK don't touch it, don't go on it. But for the US, like it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah. It's in the US it's a massive staple. I mean, we know Ant, who is buys from PWCC, he uses the Vault as well. Which is another thing that's really great. Obviously, eBay have got they've got live auctions now. They've got their own vault. So it's the collecting, space is definitely changing. It'll be interesting to see what happens next because we've essentially got, we've got eBay, PWCC, and Golden as the three big auction houses. It'll be interesting to see if Amazon do anything. That's something that surprises me that Amazon hasn't, because Amazon's actually directly partnered with Hasbro and Wizard of the Coast for Magic the Gathering, so they're obviously understanding of card games. So it'll be interesting to see if they kind of buy an auction house or they maybe start doing auctions.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I've not considered. I guess, yeah, they haven't tapped into that at all. I guess perhaps the reason is it's not really a second-hand market, Amazon, is it? It's, when you compare it to eBay and auction houses for graded cards and things like that, that's all second-hand selling. Perhaps that's the only thing that's keeping them back is they only sell new product and things like that, don't they, really?
Yeah, I mean, people sell their own stuff as well on Amazon. Like you have a lot of affiliated sellers and stuff, and like people ship to Amazon and they'll sell the product for you. So
Yeah.
I think I reckon Amazon are working on something. They can't, they can't be not, they can't be missing out on this opportunity, I think. But they're probably wanting to make sure what they do is very careful. I mean, in terms of like the eBay buying TCG Player, when that happened, TCG Player had recently actually bought Channel Fireball and Card Shop Live. So Channel Fireball is one of the largest sellers of TCGs in America, and Card Shop Live essentially is their live opening, kind of like Whatnot and Vault and kind of thing, where they open up stuff live on there. And then of course that got bought by TCG Player, that got bought by eBay. So I think Amazon definitely are probably planning something, but they want to make sure that when they do it, it's it's polished, it's it's going to bring something new maybe to the space. I might be wrong, but I think a company as innovative as Amazon, they probably can't afford to be missing out on this opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I can't. For some reason, I can't see them doing it. Like just in terms of how their site and the store works. I know you can kind of buy pre-owned stuff, but it's very different, isn't it? You can't really,
Yeah.
you don't really see like pre-owned images of things. It's just a generic picture of like the
Yeah.
item that you're getting, and I know it's great for sellers in the sense that they do all the fulfillment for you and things like that, don't they? So,
Yeah.
but I think even if they were working on something and it was about to come out, like it to me it feels like eBay and TCG Player and things like that, they're just too far ahead. Like they would have to come out with something like revolutionary, like that. Just, but I don't know. Personally, I don't see it happening. But it'd be really interesting if if they popped up with something. Going back a little bit, actually, I know you mentioned eBay Live. What do you think? Just personally, how do you think that's going to go compared to things like Whatnot? For all those listening, we both don't really use Whatnot and things like that. Like I've been on it a few times. Maybe I've bought like 1 or 2 pack openings from there. It's normally from people that I know and I just, want to support. Like I've just hopped on there and seen they're online, so watched it and thought, you know what, I'll support them. I'll grab a few packs and things like that. But it's not something I go on all the time. It's kind of like a different marketplace with a different audience. But do you think eBay Live's just going to wipe those types of other apps out?
It's a good question. I think I might not know enough about these online live auction streaming sites. I'm not involved really in any of them. As I said, as you have really, I think I've been on it once or twice.
Yeah.
Again, because people I know that were on there. I think in terms of, eBay Live would make sense for it to kind of, because it's regulated as such. Are they with eBay Live? Is it just, I guess anyone can just hop on there and auction stuff live? It's not
at the moment because it's new. I think they have to select the sellers that are on there.
So
at the moment,
so that already to me shows that there's some regulation there. Like if anyone can hop on there and do it, then maybe not. I mean, if they chose select sellers, that have got good reputations, that are working with eBay, that can that would make sense. But then I guess the other side of it is doesn't give everyone the opportunity to do so. So I'm not sure. I think if it's eBay, it's regulated, it's a big name. I think it could definitely be detrimental to sites like Whatnot and Vogt and what other ones exist. It'll be interesting to see when it rolls out fully. Within the next 12 to 18 months, I guess, across the world, really, if that's their plan, how that works. Well, I'd be interested. I might get involved in it myself personally, like to watch or maybe, just to try it out because I've been intrigued, but Whatnot and Vogt just doesn't interest me at all.
Yeah, I think obviously Whatnot as well. I'm not as familiar with the other UK one, I think. But Whatnot in general is similar in the sense that they select people, right? You can't just hop on there. They have to kind of select you, approach you, and then you have to have a call with them and get set up.
Yeah.
So it's similar in that sense, but I think it's interesting because if you think about eBay, you've got a wider audience, a much wider audience than Whatnot. So if you were someone who's got a big presence on Whatnot, but you moved to eBay, I guess the main question is, will your community, will your followers that come in and regularly watch you, will they just switch over to eBay and start watching you on there? And even if that's maybe 80% of them like move with you, I think you've probably got more potential to add more than just 20% new people, because it's eBay. The customer base is going to be 100, 1,000 times what the other apps have. So I think, yeah, maybe if they do it right, it will, yeah, it could be very successful and potentially take a lot away from these other apps. But yeah, I guess time will tell, right? We'll see how it goes, see what happens, and it will come down to who they select, I think, as well. I think they need to be just very clever about who they're going to pick for what collectibles and things like that.
Yeah, they need to be selective. I agree. I think, you know, if they, not saying poach, but if a couple of the big whatnot streamers move over to eBay, for whatever reason, no incentives, so, you know, they've been offered a better offer, I guess. If they bring all their community over, you know, the exposure they're going to get on eBay is going to be far greater than whatnot. That for sure could, you know, that could be damaging for whatnot going forward. Obviously, I know whatnot's growing massively, and they seem to be at all of the card events now.
Yeah.
But I think because a lot of the influencers have actually pushed.
Sorry, mate.
If
You're
anything,
cutting
a lot
out.
of the oh, is it cutting out now?
Yeah, if you
now?
could, yeah, it's fine now. If you just repeat what you last said.
Yeah, I think if anything, the whatnot's platform itself has been pushed more by the influencers than vice versa.
Yeah, it's the people on there and the following that they draw in my opinion, which means it's kind of platformless. At the end of the day, if they were doing their openings live on YouTube, they probably have the same main follower base that turns up to watch it. And I know some people do both, right? Some people still open on whatnot and open on YouTube, and I think that's smart. I think that's probably the best thing to do, because you don't want to isolate that to just one place, right? So yeah, I think I was actually really surprised to hear that eBay was doing this, because I think, as much as I think it's great and they should be doing it, it's a big project for them to make and invest in. So to see it was really interesting, because it was like, oh wow, like this shows you how aware they are of collectibles. And obviously eBay is like everything. It's not, you know, it's not collectible focused. So yeah, it's actually really cool. I think really cool and interesting to see them go so hard on collectibles and put so much in, even with all the other stuff that they've done with the authentication and things like that. I know I've not used it, but I know many people have. So it's really good to see. It only helps the hobby, just having more people recognize things and build platforms to do things like that on. So yeah, it's really cool. I've heard you've been looking into the Magic Lord of the Rings set. What's been going on?
Lots. So I've mentioned this before, and this is the biggest TCG release, at least of 2023, and I think potentially ever. I know everything that Pokemon does seems to be growing and getting massive all the time, especially in Japan. But this set seems to be just something else. So I was looking at the numbers on Friday. So we've got, for collector boxes alone, so for context for those that aren't really sure kind of how Magic the Gathering works,
that's me.
They do draft, set, and collector boxes. Collector boxes are the most expensive. They're currently around $400 a box at the moment in America.
So what do you get in that?
So you get 12 packs in the collector's boxes, and most of the cards are foil. You get a lot more mythics and rares versus the set and draft packs. And with collectors, it's the only way you can get the One Ring, which is what everyone's going for. That's the chase. That's what everybody wants.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What's the retail on those boxes?
So the retail is around $350 to $400.
So they haven't
So it's
gone up loads or anything yet.
no, they haven't. I mean, this was already priced more expensive than any Magic the Gathering set
Okay.
ever.
Yeah.
This was already like over here. So for UK, I guess, because a lot of people watching this are going to be English. The standard set boxes for Magic the Gathering usually around 115 to £120, and collector's boxes are usually around 200 to 250. Whereas these are £100 more basically than normal. They've upped the price at the distributor level. They're obviously up the price at retail level now for customers. So the $350 to $400 is almost, it's a lot more than what we'd normally be expecting for a Magic the Gathering set, and that is most likely because the One Ring, they know people are going to pay it.
Yeah.
So we've got over 4,000 boxes sold on TCG Player alone, and over $1.5 million in sales for the collector boosters alone on TCG Player. So that already has outstripped and outperformed pre-sales and sales for any other Magic the Gathering set since TCG Player has been around.
In terms of value alone, right?
Value alone, yeah. In terms of just how much has been spent on these alone, Double Masters is generally the set that Double Master 2022 was a massive set that did really well for Magic the Gathering, and this has outstripped that already in terms of like the amount of money that it's made. So TCG Player is only one place. A lot of people are going to be ordering from their local card stores, from Amazon, and that's just US alone. So I'd be interested. I'm not sure how to even get the information, if it's all possible, to see how much money has been made. I guess if it works out that 250,000 boxes are going to be made based on the pull rates they released for the serialized and non-serialized rings, the soul rings. So that kind of gave us an idea that 250,000 boxes were made, which, that times, I guess, $400 is ridiculous. It's going to make them a lot. It's going to be the biggest money maker for any card game company this year, and stores have already started getting it already. They can't sell the product, but they can't ship the product. They can sell it still. So like stores have been doing like box opening and stuff. A couple of the Elven rings have been pulled already. I know one of the Elven rings is up to $7,000 on auction on Facebook currently. So that already just shows the demand for this.
When's the release date? Is it a week?
Yeah, so pre-releases for this set are next weekend.
Okay.
And the actual set comes out in 2 weeks. So we're still 2 weeks away, which is...
And it's not actually sold out. You can go and pick up collect boxes for kind of the retail price at the moment. Or...
Yeah, if you can find a store, basically the allocations have started drip feeding through US stores. Some stores have actually got product now.
Yeah.
But allocations, I'm not sure what the allocations are for UK stores currently. I think they'll probably come out this week. We don't get stuff as quickly as the US. So that will kind of determine how easy it is. I know on Amazon UK it's sold out currently.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of stores are listed as sold out. I think probably just because they want to be safe in terms of like having the right allocations.
Yeah. No, so a lot of stores do that though, don't they? In terms of pre-orders way in advance, they end up spending that pre-order money before fulfilling product, or they then don't get allocated as much, or both, right? They've spent the money and the allocations change. They've got to refund people and they're like, oh, we don't have the money, which is, it's never good to run a business that way. It's just going to go bad. So how much of this are you getting?
I've got a load of the gift bundles pre-ordered from Amazon US. Thankfully I pre-ordered them before the One Ring was announced, so I got them at a cheap price. I've only got one collector booster box ordered.
Are you opening it?
I'll open that. I'll open that on my YouTube channel.
Nice.
That'll be opened. I'm not chasing the One Ring. That like, that doesn't really bother me personally. Like, it's, you know, it's like talking about winning the lottery.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy the cards. The cards look amazing. And another strange thing as well with this is because of the size of Lord of the Rings, the IP, a lot of stores that have never even stocked Magic the Gathering, like HMV, they've got it up for pre-order.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is pretty strange. I know HMV do some card stuff, but they don't do like, I've never seen like
Yeah.
Pokemon in there or anything. They do like random bits. So it'll be interesting to see. I think the allocations won't be bad, but it's dispersed across a lot more stores than
Yeah.
usual, because basically every store that can actually order Magic the Gathering product
We'll do
have
it.
basically ordered it.
Yeah. Purely because of that IP collab that they're doing, I guess, and they know how popular it's going to be. So yeah, I didn't realize it was so close to release now. So that, I mean, by the time the podcast episode's out, it's probably, you know, it'd be about a week away or something, which is cool. Yeah, I'll be interested to see you open it. I'm looking forward to that. Actually, I'm really curious because I'm not personally, I'm not getting any. And I like Lord of the Rings, but like I'm not a huge fan. I haven't watched it since 10 years ago or something like that. So but yeah, I like seeing like just big things pop up in the TCG world, and it's really interesting to like watch it and see what happens with the market and sort of like figure out like why things have gone the way they have. I mean, I know there's what's the bid now? Is it 1 million? Is the bid for the One Ring card 1 million? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the bounty is 1 million. That's DA Card World, who, which is one of the biggest stores in America for card games. They've put the bounty at 1 million. I think, in terms of like the bounty, the chance of it being pulled is very, very slim. I don't know if the bounty will actually ever be paid. Honestly, I think it's one of those cases of like you can't put a bounty up less than the last one, right? So you have to keep increasing it. And I think the exposure to the stores that are doing this,
it can be,
is gonna be so good.
It's a good point.
Like I could put a bounty up on my Instagram right now, $1.5 million. And you know, people be sharing it and go, "Oh my god, this guy, you know, is talking about." But you know, am I going to pay it? No, I don't.
I've not really thought about that, to be honest. It's kind of like a good marketing PR stunt, but I think if you've got a store name behind you, right, and that is great PR for your store. I think if you then, if no one then offered more and and it was found and you didn't pay, I think you would then get a lot of sort of negativity. But you know, bad press can be good press, so I don't know if that would end up working in your favor anyway. But I suppose you're also relying on the fact that there's probably someone else that's going to come along and offer a slightly higher bounty. So it's like you could say like, 1.1 million, and just hope that someone ups that. Do you think Post Malone will get it? Because like he spent, I mean, this was a while ago. I remember seeing a video pop up and about like the most he spent on a Magic card. It was loads, and obviously he is who he is. So you know, he's gonna have money. Like
I think. I mean, he spent $800,000 on a Christopher Russ Black Lotus, which is the best you can get in Magic the Gathering, the best you can get in any card game, really, truly. But yeah, it's a good point because actually he's a big Lord of the Rings fan as well. He actually posted on his socials recently. He had a Sauron helmet.
Oh.
So I was looking at those two and thinking, do you know what? He's into Magic the Gathering. He's into Lord of the Rings.
Just
he's got money. Yeah, this could potentially be. I mean, I wouldn't put him out. I wouldn't put it past him putting a big offer on. I don't think he'll do like a bounty as such, like they are now. But if it gets pulled, I could see him going, do you know what? And I think, you know, one of the other questions as well, as I guess, is, you know, for us, we're talking about stores here. So, like, say DA Cardwell, for instance, they've offered 1 million bounty.
Yeah.
What's their intention of this card? Because they can't just have 1 million stock just sitting there, right? They're going to be probably
yeah.
to degrade it to sell. It probably won't grade very highly because we already know it's already pringled, the foiling already. So it's most likely a BGS 9.
I mean, it doesn't matter what grade it gets, does it? It's only one of them, so it is what it is.
You know, it's not like one's going to come better. I think, yeah, I definitely be interested to see how that works out. I'm just excited to see. You know, I'm excited to see open the product myself as a Lord of the Rings fan, but I'm excited to see what happens with this One Ring.
Yeah.
What happens with all the Soul Rings as well, because there's hundreds of those. So yeah, I'll try to update as much as I can. In a couple of weeks when we do this, we can discuss when I haven't pulled the One Ring, and you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've got the tiniest of chances, so it's pretty cool that you've just you're like participating in that in some sort of way. So yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to seeing you open it, to be honest. Yeah, really intrigued, but not a set that I'll be buying and opening myself. So just be really fun to watch. Speaking of new sets, the new Pokemon set literally came out 2 days ago of recording this.
Yeah.
You opened some, I opened some. What did you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the set, actually. I think, you know, with Scarlet and Violet so far, obviously they moved to the silver borders. I think it's been great already, to be honest. I wasn't expecting them to do as many like the illustration rares they would do with the base set and the second set, but I honestly think they've knocked it out of the park. Pokemon are going strength from strength. I really enjoyed opening it, and I don't really open much Pokemon anymore, but I opened some, and yeah, I enjoyed the art. I enjoyed the cards inside the set. I didn't know a lot of the new ones, honestly. I played Scarlet and Violet, but even a couple of the Pokemon, I was just like, I'm not sure about that one. But the set itself is really great. How did you get on?
Oh yeah, I kind of had the same opinion. So this was actually my first Scarlet and Violet opening. Like, I didn't even open the base set. So it was my first time opening packs where you get a holo in every pack. You get like, I think you get 2 reverse holos in every pack. You got the silver borders. So it was the first one with all those changes. And I found it really fun. I almost forgot the fact that you get a holo in every pack. So for the first few packs, I was like, oh, I'm doing all right. And then I was like, oh, wait.
That's normal, yeah.
Yeah, but the holos, just in general, like, same as you, there's a lot of Pokemon I didn't know. I haven't even played Scarlet and Violet either, so there was just, hardly any that I knew. But the ones I did recognise were really nice, and I was actually drawn to a lot of just the normal holo cards. I was like, the Tyranitar, the Gyarados, just holos. I was like, they just look really nice, which is great for an opening, because, just getting nice cards is what you want. So yeah, I mean, I just opened the Pokemon Center ETB. So I had 11 packs, I think, and I got a couple of pulls, 1 gold card of a Pokemon that I didn't particularly like by the looks of things. But yeah, it was just, I haven't opened Pokemon for a while. The last few times I opened it, I didn't really enjoy it. I was just kind of like, it just felt like a waste of time, in my opinion, from like opening Weiss Schwarz and enjoying that as much as I do. But this one was nice. It was refreshing. And I think that was from the changes and just the artwork as well. I think the artwork was really nice. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, considering it was just 1 ETB.
Yeah, I think the holo per pack is a really great idea. Getting rid of the rares was good. The reverse holos as well. Yeah. I actually, when I was doing my opening, I was saying it'd be really cool if you could get the reverse holos in the holos in reverse holo, which you can. So you can actually get reverse holo of anything holo and below. So I pulled a holo Tyranitar and a reverse holo Tyranitar.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Having those back to back was really cool. Yeah, I think it's a great set. It was refreshing. As you said, I stopped enjoying opening Pokemon, honestly, just because it just felt quite samey. I
Yeah.
know the illustration character trainer gallery cards or whatever they are, they're always really nice anyway. Even if it's a Pokemon you don't know,
Yeah.
it's the cards are pretty themselves. You know, my favorite pull I think was a reverse hollow Hoppit. That was a really nice artwork. So yeah, I'm excited to see. I'll probably end up opening more. I think I've got a Pokemon Center ETB coming. The promo Pikachu was really nice.
Yeah.
That was the English version of the Scarlet Violet pre-order bonus. So yeah, I think Pokemon are doing really well with this. So the next one is the Disney 100 is getting another print.
Yeah, so if you haven't heard, the Weiss Schwarz Disney 100 set is getting reprinted. The reprint window is tiny. It's like probably when this goes out, yeah, like 1 or 2 weeks. I think it was I want to say like the 23rd of June or something, 28th. But yeah, I mean, tiny reprint window was put on their Twitter. They linked to the Japanese Weiss Schwarz page that sort of confirms it. And yeah, it's really interesting. There's a lot of mixed opinions in the community, it seems. So a lot of people seem to think this will get reprinted constantly until orders at distribution kind of just stop and they don't, the demand goes, right? It's been compared to what happened with HoloLive Volume 1, where they just kept reprinting it until everyone had what they wanted. And then there's opinions that I've heard rumours that this is only available to stores in Japan. So they're the only people who can actually pre-order it. I'm not sure how much of that is true. I've personally, because obviously I've got my online card store for Weiss Schwarz, I've reached out to some contacts to see if I could get a case. They can't. They can't get it. That's not something they can get. So personally, if I had to guess, the last few reprints have been very small. Like Pixar had a reprint around about the time Disney's second wave hit. That was tiny. I don't think it made a dent to Pixar sealed box prices, maybe about £10 cheaper, if that, but they're still not retail. They're not like £50-60 a box. They're still double that.
Yeah.
So personally, if I had to try and make an educated guess, I think it's going to be a small reprint. And what people fail to forget as well, this is a Japanese set, right? This isn't made for us. It's not. Their priority in reprinting a set like this is to get this product to people in Japan. And I know a lot of those people, unfortunately, will resell it on to people overseas because we're willing to pay 2 times the price or whatever, 3 times nearly at this point. But the priority is Japan. Like, could you imagine if an English Pokemon set came out and let's just pick a random country. Let's just say like all the Italians were buying our English set that's made for us. And because they want it, it's not £100 a box, it's £300 a booster box. I immediately know how fuming everyone would be. They'd be like, why do they want our product? Like, this is made for us and you're making it like 3 times the price. So I think just an important thing to remember is it's not, we're not like entitled to this product. It's a Japanese product. And I know everyone's so used to just being able to buy Japanese products through websites and things, but yeah, just remember it's made for people in Japan. They're the priority. If it does end up like what I said, where it's only Japanese stores that can pre-order it, yeah, some of them will probably end up flipping it online for double. But yeah, don't expect to be able to just order all Japanese products for retail price. It's just not going to be the case every time.
Yeah, I would say I'd agree with you on that one as well. I think I spoke about it this morning with some people on the Discord, and I said I wouldn't even, because they said, "Oh, is it a good time to start buying now? We'll be able to, complete our sets and open more boxes." And I said, you probably won't at all. I mean, looking at yesterday, box prices are around £135, £140 on eBay. So as I say, I don't think they'll change at all. If it is the case and it is just Japanese stores getting like a small supply, which is fair enough, so that the Japanese collectors and players can actually get product in their hands, it makes sense. The same as Pokemon as well. This is intended for the Japanese market. This isn't for us, and there's definitely become a kind of an aura of sort of like entitlement, where you keep reprint it until boxes are retail again, and I've completed my set. But that's not the way it is. It's just it's not that. So be interesting to see the next couple of weeks when it comes out, if anything changes at all. If the only thing I can think of would be people that don't really know, they might even start selling like singles, for instance. They might start panic selling singles, thinking that the prices are going to drop.
Which could cause prices.
Set comes out, and then the set comes out, they don't. And then they have to either buy again, which causes the price to go up, or they just leave it. So singles might move because of the panic, but anyone that's got a position with sealed boxes right now for Disney probably won't be worried by this announcement.
I mean, I would love if they could make enough product for it to come back to sort of like retail prices, like the typical price of a case, you ship it over, imports, whatever. I think it works out £50-60 a box on average in that case. But I would love to see that, because I think it would just help it grow, because it just means that more people can get this product, open it, share it. And it's always good, like, just having that and having as many people be able to pick up things that they want and enjoy the openings and things like that. So I'd love it to be that, but I don't, just based off of recent reprints, I don't think it's going to be that at all, unfortunately. But yeah, we will see what happens with that. Was there any other topics you wanted to go over today, or?
I mean, talking about Disney, I guess, we Gus Lorcana as well still. So obviously the lawsuit, the information, still stuff is coming out about that. Disney, Ravensburger and Disney Lorcana have basically said that it changes nothing. They've said that, they have not denied that there's a lawsuit impending, but they've basically just, they're very confident that nothing will change.
Oh, okay.
And that the lawsuit itself isn't even worth talking about. So, which will be interesting. I mean, I don't know how I would do it if I was, I was a company and I was getting sued. I guess more details will come out over the summer. The set comes out in August. There's a lot of hype in terms of like players and collectors, and investors, of course. But nothing's changed as such right now. But it's just interesting to see that Disney themselves, well, Ravensburger on behalf, I guess, of Disney, but basically, that they basically don't care. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
I think it's sold out, like pre-orders, aren't they?
It's sold out everywhere. So
probably won't be opening that then.
No, I don't. Unless, I mean, they'll do. It's not first edition or anything, so they'll do another wave. So
true.
I'll probably open some if I can get product for like retail price. I'll probably end up, if I know Game do pre-orders, they might have stock. They generally keep stock for their store. So, if I go in there and have a look, I might pick up. I want to get one of those treasure troves. They look quite cool. So I just like to open that up and kind of see the cards in hand myself.
Just if it's there and it's available, I'll be happy to pick it up and just open it and see what it's about. That'd be really fun. But I'm not going to go out my way and pay like above retail for it. If that's the case, I just won't pick it up. But like you said, if there's multiple print runs and things like that, if there's demand, they will just keep reprinting it so people can enjoy it. So that'd be fine. Excited to see what happens. Hopefully it does go ahead, but by the sounds of it, from what you said, it probably will, because they seem quite dismissive of what's happened. So that'd be cool. So I think that's it. I think we're wrapped up. Thank you everyone so much for watching and listening to us as always. Our links for everything will be in the description. And also, if there's any TCGs or topics you want us to discuss, just let us know. Just drop it in the comments on either video and let us know. We'd be happy to discuss any other TCGs. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.